California's capital, Sacramento, and a look here at the Capitol building. Greetings, everyone, from Sacramento. The Kings playing host to a Western Conference affair.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, living the dream. Bad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor, upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And then my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met in my life. I mean, Izzy was taking second-year college calculus courses as a high school sophomore, right? Straight-A student, full ride to MIT. Izzy had the world at his fingertips. But he was always looking for trouble, and trouble found him. He ran with the wrong crowd. And when we got to MIT, he got this great job working for a financial consulting firm in Boston. But every weekend, he would fly to Vegas. You see, Izzy had a system for counting cards in Vegas that had the big casinos on the Strip. Oh, it's stymied. He would come back to MIT with suitcases filled with $200,000 in cold cash.
What?
Yeah.
So your man Izzy was getting hit off like that?
Like a fat rat in a cheddar cheese factory, freak.
Okay, so what happened to this dude Izzy? Because he's dope.
No, not dope. Dead. After he'd been missing for 3 weeks, the Nevada State Police never found hide nor hair of Isidore. And our friendship took a hit when he asked me to hang out with him in Vegas, and I said I wouldn't do it because I knew he was on a dark and twisted path in his life. And yes, he was my dude. But no way was I gonna throw my life away trying to show my loyalty to a guy who really and truly didn't understand what loyalty was all about.
So this meeting is about Vic.
Correctamente.
Okay, well, sir, Vic isn't Izzy.
And why's that, freak?
Well, for one thing, you and your dead friend Izzy didn't grow up poor. Me and Vic grew up in a neighborhood where we had to look over our shoulder every 2 seconds to make sure nobody was going to walk up on us and rob us.
True. Izzy and I did not grow up in the hood. But we, like you, thankfully grew up in a 2-parent household. But even that wasn't enough for Izzy. He wasn't satisfied. He was always looking for a 5-alarm fire when he already had the warmth and comfort of a loving family. This is not about class warfare, freak. This is about the consequences of making bad choices and risking it all when you feel like you have nothing to lose.
Vic is like a brother to me, sir.
But you shouldn't be Brother Vic's keeper, freak. Would a brother go looking for trouble and put your career and your livelihood at risk by getting into fights at nightclubs and seedy after-hour joints and then scream to the media, "Yeah, it's all good, I'm an FOF, friendo freak. It's all misunderstanding. Y'all be haters, don't hate my game." I don't think a brother would do that to someone they really cared about, but a guy who looked at you like a meal ticket would.
No. See, you don't understand Vic.
Really? I don't understand.
No.
Look, man, it was a misunderstanding with the guy in the next VIP booth. His honey started flirting with me, so naturally I started flirting back. Next thing I know, Captain Cornball's off my grill piece beefing. Next thing he know, he got a 2-piece and a biscuit on his left eye. Hey, I don't know who hit him, and it damn sure wasn't me. Hey. Captain Cornball's mad because I'm an FOF, friend of freak. Hey, but check this out, though. He needs to train that hottie before he leave the house, though. Yo, he's hotties ain't loyal, man.
What's there to understand? Are you freaking blind? You know, I just want to know, how much did you pay your lawyers to make all this go away?
Almost $100,000.
Excuse me, son, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said I paid almost $100,000.
Exactly. And if you keep riding shotgun with Vic, you're gonna go broke. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Look, Vic is my friend, and I grew up with him. How many times I gotta tell you, sir?
Freak, this is not a request. I am not asking you to do this. I am telling you to do this. And the first order of business is that Mr. Vic Van Leer is banned from traveling with you on the road. Vic is banned from the locker room. And Vic is banned from this arena. And if I catch this guy, Vic, in or anywhere near the facilities, Mr. Vic Van Leer will be arrested for trespassing.
Are you serious, sir?
Brother, I'm as serious as cancer. We all know that can be deadly.
You know, when me and Vic were kids, playing summer tournaments at the Dome, we always imagined making it to the pros, right? And after the crowds left, just a street light was on the court, like a lens. We used to practice player introductions, running on the court, giving dab, high-fiving the teammates. Vic, he would act as an announcer. You know, he would introduce me and announce my name on the loudspeaker, and the Jumbotron would flash my image like a little guy dressed in long shorts and a jersey. And now, fresh off his 3-game, 62-point scoring streak, the youngest player to ever do so in NBA history, Frequency Vibrations. So me and Vic would sit in those empty bleachers at the Dome and dream like nobody's business. And now I'm living a dream. For real. And in so many ways, Vic was part of that.
Please, listen to me. I mean, I know this guy's your dude from way back.
Look, me and Vic go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
That's good. We go way back. Did you say front seats?
Front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
We go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac. Well, do you have any crickets? I'm going to be the hit once again at Herbie Allen's Sun Valley Shindig because my fellow billionaires love it when I walk and talk that talk.
So that almost sounds...
No, let me tell you exactly what it sounds like. I respect, admire, and most importantly, love you as a human being and a role model. But I pay you a lot. And I mean, I pay you a lot of money to play for my team. And I am in this game to win it. And you can't win it with an albatross around your neck like Vic. So Vic is done. History. And here's some more lingo that I picked up from a former megastar who used to play for me several seasons ago. Thought I would never release him until I did. And now he's the sixth man on a struggling team in Venice. And yeah, I'm talking Venice with the canals and the gondolas and Harry's bar, not the street ballers next to the fortune tellers on the beach in Cali. This guy used to tell me when he thought there was a player destroying our team, don't be a hero. Cut that zero. And that is what I am telling you about Vic, freak. Don't be a hero. Cut that zero. The only thing Vic brings into your life is headache and unwanted and unnecessary negative attention. And it will begin to affect your mindset. And when it affects your mindset, it's going to affect your play. And when it affects your play, it's going to affect my team. And when it affects my team, it's going to affect my money. And if it affects my money, Google Translate will become your new freaking friend. I want a championship ring, freak, and I want you to help me get that ring. And banners after banners hanging from the rafters in this arena. So, freak, hear me clearly and hear me good. V, G, Vic, gotta go! Handle your business. And remember, that contract you signed contains a morality clause, a very important clause that revolves around your conduct on and off the court, and how it can negatively impact my team. Now, I don't want you to have to learn Italian or Croatian as a second language. And hey, playing pro ball overseas, there's nothing wrong with that. But the arenas are nothing like this, nor will the money be the same. And on top of all of that, this is the US of A, the greatest freaking country in the world. Ask yourself, is Vic worth all that? Think about it. Think long, think wrong.
Tell you about Vic.
Big road trip coming up for the team, and it all starts tonight. If we can set the tone with the win here, it'll make a huge difference. The team's ready, and I know I'm ready. So I guess the next step is to just get out there and get it done. I feel like this one's on me, though. So time to earn my stripes.
captivating time-lapse view of the traffic on the historic 3rd Avenue Bridge, a landmark here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Well, the weekend has officially begun, and we welcome you to this 2K Sports presentation of NBA basketball. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. It's the Sacramento Kings taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nikola Pekovic comes in for Kevin Garnett, and Shabazz Muhammad subbed in for Wiggins. Freaks checked in for the Kings.
And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
On the floor for Sacramento, Freak in at shooting guard. Quincy Acey out there with Rudy Gay. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Rondo in at the 1. And what a pickup to get a guy like Carl Gregg on their bench, as you mentioned. He's just been a winner, Clark, his entire career.
Well, he's climbing the ladder in the all-time wins category as a coach, and also he's a cancer survivor. He's overcome a battle with cancer, and that also lends itself to having great compassion and respect for George Karl.
As did his son Kobe.
That's
Remember
right.
that? Yeah.
That's right. It was a family affair.
Coming out of the court now are your Timberwolves dancers. Come on, give it up.
Well, it's been a heck of a recent stretch for these guys. The centers and power forwards averaging the most points in their position in the last 10 games. In the 3rd spot, Pekovic.
You know, there are different styles among those big men, but they have one thing very much in common. They can dominate offensively. Face up or back to the basket, they can get it done.
Which is what makes that such an interesting collection of players for me. So much contrast in their methods, but success all around. It goes to show how many different ways there are to get it done in the post.
Sacramento again missing. Timberwolves trail by 9. He feeds it to Muhammad. Passes it to Towns. Sacramento grabs the miss. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, they just really struggled to put points on the board throughout that game. You could just see they were pressing. Just couldn't get anything to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and guys, once they got spiraling downward, there seemed to be no way to get out of it. All their offense went to pot.
Here's Pekovic, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Zhang's checked in, and then for Sacramento. Kufis checked in for Cousins. Caspi comes in for Quincy Acey, and it's Collison in for Rajon Rondo. Here's Pekovic. It's hauled in by the Kings. Gay's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Freak kicks to Gay. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And no question, Shea, Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only 1 playoff. Only 1. Count him, 1 back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he was still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
Collison kicks to Freak. Rebound collected by Levine. Timberwolves trail by 5. Muhammad with it, picked up by Collison. And Muhammad kicks to Levine. Stolen away. And now Sacramento on the break. And there's Gay. That's good on the assist by Caspi. Gay's got his 2nd bucket of the night. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Kings.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover. His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Now the dish to Casper. Freak with it. He's coming off a 37-point game against Houston. And it's Caspi with the three. And the Kings lead by 8.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
Sacramento making a switch here. McLemore is checked in. Here's Rubio. Shot is off. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. Their last encounter was in Sacramento.
And they got the better of this matchup last time with their defensive pressure and the ability to force turnovers.
And that really was the difference. I mean, it requires a ton of energy to play that harassing style. It'll be interesting to see if they can do it again tonight.
Dishes it to Muhammad. He kicks it to Levine. Pass to Rubio. Sinks the triple. Rubio's got 5 now.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Freak. Minnesota with the rebound. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And really complete control of that game. If you recall, guys, they made sure they didn't have to sweat that one out down the stretch.
They didn't make any mistakes, kept everything tight, and coasted to the finish line.
Minnesota shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And guys, for Nikola Pekovic, NBA scouts said he needed work on his shot coming in, yet he's money from mid-range at times, especially at the charity stripe. One of the best free throw shooting bigs we have in our league.
There's the double team with Pekovic. And out of bounds is the Timberwolves gain possession.
A moment here to look at some numbers for Rubio. He's right around 13 points a night, 9 assists and 4 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
For sure. Great anticipation. Peripheral vision is there. Natural talent as well. Really shining through.
Payne, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And back to Pekovic at the free throw line. Clark, he has consistently been around 75% for his career.
And Kevin, last season he got that number up to 84%. And he also gives you really good effort in the paint on both ends of the floor.
Here's Levine, guarded by McLemore. Levine can't hit.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Here's Koufos, and he dunks it down.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
For Minnesota, they have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
At the line for 2.
Muhammad hits them both. And here are the Kings now. Collison, the pass to Freak. From downtown, the shot is off. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. The Kings on top, up by 2. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just... And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player.
It was definitely a hard decision. I had to sit down with my family and weigh the options and really take the time to figure out what's best for me. It was tough. I mean, I loved my team, my coaches, and just the whole college experience, you know. But on the other hand, there's always a risk of injury, you know. I just felt like I was ready to take my game to the next level, so why wait? And I think it turned out for the best. No regrets.
Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like that.
4 years in college, when that's the best route for an individual player. Nowadays, I think unfairly so, there's a ton of pressure on young guys sometimes to leave prematurely. We'll see if Freak's decision pays off for him long term.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from Sacramento so far, guys, what do you think?
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
Excellent hustle, and you know the coach has to be pleased with that effort at the defensive end.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the floor for Sacramento, Freak in a two-guard. Quincy Acee out there with DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Rajon Rondo. And it's Bellinelli in at the three spot. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Rockets really lit up the floor. He had 37 points, as he usually does, really knocking down shots from beyond the arc. Numbers like that are rare to see by any player in a game he'll always remember.
Thanks, Doris, for revisiting what was an astounding performance.
Yeah, that's certainly one that we'll be talking about here for a long time.
I'd say it would make it to his greatest hit spot, no doubt about it.
Really left alone that time. Rondo's got himself on the board with 3 there.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Rondo against Rubio. Here's the screen. Just 5 to shoot. From 11 feet away. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Rubio's got 7 points in the game. Sacramento leading by 3. It's now been a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves played postseason basketball. Last trip to the postseason for the Wolves back in 2004.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And if you're wondering, that is the longest playoff drought in the league currently. Wolves want nothing more than to get back to playing playoff basketball, and featuring the #1 pick in last year's draft will help.
Good way to start, you're right.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
And you need the defense to stop the bleeding.
That is good. Wiggins has got his first basket of the night.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Screen by Cousins. Rondo dishes to Freak, and he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical
They
play.
can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Nikola Begovic is checked. And it's the Kings with the ball. They've led by as many as 11 points. And Caspi kicks to Freak. To the right side. McLemore, the pass to Freak. Muhammad grabs the board.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight.
Levine dishes to Jang. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Muhammad from deep three-point range. Cannot hit. Sacramento leading by 7. Here's Freak. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
And that was not a soft foul he had to get through, Greg. I mean, he had to really power that one up and in.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And that one misses.
Sacramento didn't have a free-flowing offense, and they wanted to get up and down, and it showed in their play transitioning from stagnant to free-flowing. Boy, they keep hammering away at them inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Collison's shot is good. And the Kings lead by 9. Sacramento, a team that is likely to put it on the floor to attack. We saw that last year. Have no problem creating with player movement versus ball movement, which is something which is a nice way to kind of begin the transition.
It is. And, Kevin, they were dead last in the league in terms of catch-and-shoot field goal attempts. Also near the bottom in catch-and-shoot field goal percentage. So they might have been justified in that.
And that one's good. Freak.
And they're beginning to just flat-out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And Zhang kicks to Towns. That's good. Towns has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Sacramento leading by 9. To the inside. Here's Freak. Howard down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger, Clark, right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
Hey, guys, that swagger can backfire because you don't want to get your opponent a little too riled up.
Levine passes to Dang. And for Gorgie Zhang, an intelligent guy with strong physical attributes, gigantic. gigantic arm span, but extremely raw skill-wise.
Yeah, his game still needs plenty of polish on both ends of the floor. But I really felt like he took a huge leap last season, and he has the intensity along with that work ethic to continue to grow.
There's 38 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Collison dishes to Freak. A baseline J. Now here's McLemore outside. Minnesota.